I don't remember if that was us or if that was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
So I did go to Wizarding World and I got me all set up and yeah, so that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah. Okay, so we are on YouTube. All right. Yay, everybody's trickling in. Okay. Let me check and see that we're rolling here. Yes. All right, we are live. Yay! Oh, goodness. It has been one heck of a week.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been super, super busy. So,
Like that.
and I just realized that I have the phone this way.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna,
Instead of this way.
let me see if this will work. Okay. Yay. Okay.
There we go.
All righty. This is so weird. I'm so not used to the having the camera right here where my hands just start getting in the way.
Yeah.
We are going to use our fingers today too. So
Are we?
we are. We're gonna do some finger painting.
Oh, lovely.
So make sure you have plenty of paper towels. Maybe a little water bowl or something.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so, huh? Oh, that's cool. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm a messy painter in general. Like when I'm doing these, I'm actually really cognizant of how messy I'm getting. But usually my paint is all over the place. Takes me longer to clean than it actually does to create something.
I tried to do our Q-tip painting again.
Oh yeah.
I'm just not, I have to have your direction as to, yeah, it didn't turn out very good.
Well, you know, those are so much fun. And I'm trying to come up, I think for the spring, maybe we can do something. I've got some ideas. So,
Oh, okay.
oh, I have no blue. I'm like, I'm missing a color here. Okay. But,
Yes. So I thought I'd better just stick with your direction when we do these painting projects because, you know, it's like, forget it. You're just not that good.
no. Sometimes you just get like, okay, well, I don't know where to start. And then, you know, you just need a little nudge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely, I can attest to that. The next, I got some great suggestions. You know, some of the girls that join us regularly, you know, they sent me a message saying, you know, they wanted to do like a dragon and some umbrellas, and so thank you for the ideas, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Real bad habit of I just end up getting so blocked and so busy and into what I'm doing.
Yeah, you just got so much on your plate. Yeah. And I'm just not, I mean, I'm creative to a point, but I'm not one that would sit down and say, oh yeah, let's paint this, let's do this. And, you know, I'm not like that.
Yeah. For me, the easiest thing is to be like, okay, so what's the next holiday that's coming up? And do something like that. So, yeah, it's just been, but we're going to get it.
Yeah, that's why I thought we were doing something for Valentine's Day, but no, it's a week later.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I was going to do some, some heart shapes and birds and stuff for Valentine's Day, but we had to move it. We had to shift it, and so I know the girls were telling me that it was going to be friendship. Actually, it was National Friendship Day when we had originally planned to do it, which was day before the Friday before Valentine's Day. But we had we had the show, so everything got shifted around.
Right.
We've been having crazy time here at PAS.
Oh wow.
Things have been changing left and right, and so it's been a little unpredictable.
Yeah.
And so we've had to make some adjustments and stuff, but it's coming along. And
yeah.
we've rescheduled some stuff. We're not going to have the State Street Ballet this year. Again, they had to cancel. It's just too much for them. So we got Johnny Pierce and the Muttville comics coming in April 9th.
Oh.
Yeah, so cute. He fosters rescue dogs.
Oh, okay.
And so then they go on tour, and it's kind of a circusy thing.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's really cute. He's got such cute little puppies, and they're really well taken care of, and it's really a fun show. And so, and I think America's Got Talent once or twice. So it's gonna be a fun show.
Well, I'm so glad now that the mask mandate is done. Thank goodness we're done with that. I don't know if you guys have eased that up at all at the campus.
Actually, yeah.
Have you? Cool.
Here on campus, they did lift it today. Some of us are a little nervous. So
yeah, I am too. Obviously,
handy.
Yeah, so I carry one with me all the time now. So, well, I did today, and so I had places I had to go, and so I walked in with my mask on and said, "Are you mandating?" And they would say either yes or no. So, if they said yes, I put it on. If they said no, then I took it off. So,
yeah,
I stayed away. I stayed away from people, so I didn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're not out of the woods yet by any means. So,
oh no.
Yeah.
So, but it's nice to have a choice. I know it's gonna be easier when I go to Zumba class.
Yes.
And a lot of my students are gonna be happy about that, because it's pretty tough.
It is. It's very hard breathing with a mask on. I mean, it's real hard for me. So, and I'm not healthy by any means. So I can imagine what it's like for a healthy person.
Yeah, it gets hot. I mean, especially like for me, I wear glasses, so huffing and puffing and having the mask on. I'm like, it's good I know the routines by heart, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to see what we were doing.
Right. Yep,
So,
that's right.
But it's going to be a little different now.
Yeah.
Switching our new normal.
Yes, it is.
But at least it's getting warmer, and things are gonna, start blooming. Yay, allergies.
Yep, I got my arrow garden planted, so I've got broccoli and lettuce and tomatoes going.
Nice.
And so the little heads are up.
Oh, see, I kill everything, so I can't. Yeah, my plastic plant started to disintegrate. My husband was just like, "Really, a plastic plant? You can't even keep that from dying?" I was just like, "I'm sorry, I don't know. I just, I dusted it. I can't keep it alive.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a wonder that my son survived, and the cats, because plants are just.
That's funny.
All right, so it looks like we are 7 minutes in. So let's see. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we got a good group. Right. So for those of you that don't know, hi. My name is Dana. I am the program coordinator for the Performing Arts Series here at New Mexico Tech. And I also do the Minors Weekly Blast and Zumba here for community ed at Tech. And we're also starting a cheer club. So if you're ever interested in any of those things, get with me and I will give you the details. But for now, we're doing a painting party, online painting party. Yay! So these are free for the community. They're free for anybody to join. And, here at New Mexico Tech, we love to do things that help give our students something artsy and fun and entertaining to do and kind of give them a break from their studies. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. And this one is kind of by request. So here we are. This painting, I dubbed it Stand Under My Umbrella. And it's just, it's going to be a really fun one. We're going to get nice and messy. Like I said before, for those of you that popped in towards last minute, we're going to use our fingers for this one. It's going to be a little bit of finger painting. So make sure you have plenty of napkins. You might even want to get yourself a water bowl. But yeah, napkins, water bowl, paintbrushes, and all your paints. So let's get to it, okay? All right, so I'm going to move this down this way. And we are going to focus in. And I apologize, my heater is like right here. It's cold in the offices. So you can kind of see my outline right there. And so what we're going to do first, we are going to paint our friends. Now I have two ladies walking here. You can paint your friends however you want. We're going to do them in silhouette. So that way, if you're not comfortable painting or drawing people, this will be easy because it's all black. And we're going to start with that first before we put our multiple colors down. So I'm going to grab a medium brush here. See, this one's a little, I think, let me guess. So if you bought your packet from PAS, you most likely will have this little blue one that's square tipped. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this, and we're just going to turn our friends into silhouette here. So we're just going to use our black for now. So we're starting in first part of the painting. Okay. And if you've never drawn a person before, we're going to do it really simply and easy. We're going to do it in shapes. Turn that off so that way you can hear me. We're going to do it in shapes, okay? So first thing I want you to do is make a triangle, kind of a quarter of the way down from the top of your painting. You can do it portrait or landscape, so long ways or up and down, however you want your canvas to go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my black and I'm just going to make a triangle. Okay, I'm going to start out real simple and make a triangle. Just like that. That's going to be your initial shape for the body. Okay. From there, I'm going to make another triangle. I'll put my base. So I'm going to make the tip right here. So they're going to overlap. So you get this hourglass. All right. So you're just going to have an hourglass right here. Now from that hourglass, we're going to go down and we're just going to make 2 long rectangles. Okay. Just a nice long rectangle. You're going to do that on both sides. Just 2 parallel rectangles. They don't have to be even. They can be a little wonky, that's fine. We're going to fill these in later. So basically what you got 2 rectangles, you got 2 triangles that are overlapping to create an hourglass. All shapes. That's what we're doing, all shapes. And then right on the top of that hourglass, we're gonna put a circle. Okay? You're just gonna, I can get more paint. You're just gonna create a circle. And that's the basis for your body, for the body that we're creating. Circle, triangle, triangle, rectangle, rectangle. Nice and simple. All right, now once you get these shapes together and it kind of looks like this, then we can start filling in the center. Okay, so go ahead and take your time and just start filling in your shapes. Like I said, this is going to be in silhouette. So all we're going to do, just make sure that we've got a nice dark silhouette. We'll add some lighting and highlights to it afterwards. For now, you're just shading, shading, shading it. That's all you're doing. Okay, just filling everything in. The heater can't decide if it's cold enough or not. is nice. Nice and simple right here. Not too much fuss, not too much fuss. Remember, if you have any questions, let me know. All right. So you've got your silhouette down. We're gonna make a second one right next to this one, and then we're going to work on our shaping. So let's do, again, our triangle. And I'm gonna make this one a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna do it just a tiny bit lower. So triangle. Triangle. So I got my hourglass. Then I'm going to go down. That one got away from me. And do my rectangle. And so this rectangle is going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to have her going in step. So one's going to be shorter. Then you got one that's going to be longer. Just because she's going to be stepping and your leg takes on a little bit different shape at that point when it's moving around. So I've got my triangles, my two rectangles, finish those off. And then I'm going to add my circle on the very top. Okay. And so then I'm just going to continue and fill all that in as well. And your flat brush is excellent for this part. All right. So fill these in on this leg. It's going to be shorter, this little rectangle, of course, shorter than this one. And as soon as we fill it in, I'll show you what we're going to do there. All right. So we've got them both filled in. Now, if you want to make them a couple gentlemen walking, you're going to want to square out the body a little bit more by adding a little more of a connection right here on the sides. Just because men have a little bit of a broader shape to the torso. So if you wanted to do that, you can definitely go ahead and square the torso out a little bit more. I'm going to stick with my girls here. So right now I'm going to add a little bit of more shape to these two hourglass figures here. And just by that, all I'm going to do is take my black and I'm going to round out my sharp corners a little bit more. And I'll describe it as I go. So right here on the shoulders, I'm going to round this out just a little bit and kind of just soften that edge, right? And just make it nice and round. So I'm going to do that with both of them. Just kind of add a little curve to the shoulder. Soften that center waist. Add a little curve there. Same thing on this side. And if you feel like you can't do this with the flat brush that we're using, you can definitely get a smaller brush. It might give you a little more control. Just use your tools and however they're going to work for you. All right. So if you can see, my shoulders are a little bit rounder. And so now I'm going to do the hips. So that hip waist area. And I kind of curve it and connect. So I've got this sharp cutoff right here where my hourglass and my rectangles met. I'm going to connect them and kind of give it a small kind of curve. So I'm going to pull this down. And curve that out. You see how she's kind of got a little bit of a hip now? And they're in motion, so the body is moving. It's not just standing still. And I'm going to kind of round this out. You can see, and kind of close that little area right there. So you've got close that thigh gap up a little bit more. Like I said, they're moving back and forth. So we're going to close that up a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing to this other one. So from that bottom triangle, I'm going to connect it to the leg, to to your rectangle and just pull that line down. Same thing on the other side. You've got your triangle. And then just pull that line down. And let it flow right into your rectangle. Okay. And my line right here is a little wonky. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Just like that. All right, and then I mentioned over here that her leg was going to be a little shorter because we are taking a step there. So I'm basically going to make a little bean. So I'm going to have a little bean right here. So like a nice little oval. So make a little oval, and I'm going to color it in. And then I'll pull this down a little bit so that way it connects. I got my little oval shaped bean. So it looks like she's taken a step forward. I'll put a couple of little flat beans on this side so that way it looks like she's standing still. Let me pull this down just a little bit. Whoop, there we go. So these are just going to be a little tiny bit of a half bean, just like that. Her shoes are just popping out of the back that you can see. You just can see her heels. And then I'll put one more right here, real small. Does that little tiny little swish right there actually looks like something. Kind of crazy, but it does. All right. So they're going to be holding up I'm sorry. They're going to be holding an umbrella. So, of course, we're going to have to add some arms. So, to do that, I'm going to come from the middle shoulder. The shoulder right in between them. You can pick whichever one you want. And I'm just going to kind of make a soft up triangle. So I've got this kind of funky diamond shape going on right here. This looks like a start of an eye. I'm going to do that to the other body as well. This one's going to be a lot smaller. So I got a couple of interesting diamond shaped lines coming out of there. Let's do that. Inch a little closer. All right. And I'm going to do another arm. It's coming out of this side. I'm going to do, like I said, just a triangle. Triangle that's connected to the body. Just like that. And from here, I want to be able to see that there's some separation. So I'm just going to go straight down. From the curve. And then I'm going to fill this in. So you're going to end up with a tiny little gap right there. Yours might be a little bit bigger, or you might not even have one, but so you can see it looks like she's kind of leaning in. And I'm going to do the same to the other one. And fill it in. And leave a little gap. Now we could do this with white paint, but this would, this way, it's just a nice little technique for you guys to kind of play with. Since we're filling things in here. So I just made parallel triangle and I'm filling it in. I gave that a little curve. And I'm going to give this little pointy edge a little curve as well. Soften that elbow up. Okay. Let me know if you need me to slow down. So next, I want to play with the hair a little bit. And it's not going to look completely like anything until we actually get some white in here and do a couple little highlights. But depending on what kind of hair you want them to have. So I'm just going to have my hair kind of blowing to the side because, you know, umbrella, rain, and all weather. If you want to put ponytails, you can do ponytails. We'll do the details afterwards. But for now, so I'm going to get this from the top of my circle. I'm just going to kind of swish this to the side. So I'm just running my brush and kind of letting it like fan out towards the bottom as I get closer. So letting it fan out. And bring this down as well and kind of give it a little swish right there. And for my other one, I think I'll do shorter hair. It's just that little tiny swish. So you've got your two friends. Oh, yay. All right. So from here, these should be pretty well and good. I mean, the nice thing about doing silhouette is you don't have to put too much work into the detail, which is always awesome. Now we'll put the umbrella in. So we're gonna put the umbrella in, and we're gonna line it out. If you're new to this, I tend to do a lot of line work. So that way when we're painting, it's almost kind of like color by number. So it makes things so much easier. It's one of the best techniques, I think, if you're wanting to do something fun and you've never really done painting before. It is excellent way to start. And then, you know, the further on you get, you know, the more intricate your technique can get. So for now, we're going to line. So right above the ladies' heads, so right above my girls' heads, I am going to do almost like a little frowny face. And I come up with the most technical terms, just so you guys know. So we're going to just do a little frown line. So I'm going to kind of just line out. And I haven't changed brushes yet. I'm still using that flat brush. You'll come to learn that flat brush is my favorite brush. And if you see what I'm doing with my pinky, this will help keep you steady. I like to call this pinky posting. So I post with my pinky. Make sure that you don't have any paint on your pinky, but you post it and you can run your brush, and that'll keep your hand nice and steady, and it'll keep your lines fairly straight. You know, they won't get too wonky. Another technical term. Yeah. Okay, so frowny face. We got a nice little frowny face. It's right over both of the ladies here. They're sharing an umbrella. And so for right in the middle, I'm going to kind of do a curved line down. Just like that. I'm going to do a couple more. So I'm going to, it's more paint. I'm going to lead from my frowny face and kind of just pull that downward. They're making the skeleton of our umbrella here. And on the other side as well, I'm going to just pull that down, right? So that is the base of your umbrella. From here, we're going to do multiple frowny faces. So each one of these little lines we're going to get connected. If you've ever like done Spider-Man or anything, you know, spider webs, they kind of connect like this. So we're going to do more paint. So little frowny face. And the last one. And it's just connecting from one point to another. Nice, easy peasy. And you got yourself an umbrella. So from this angle, we should be able to see the inside of the umbrella more or less. So we're going to kind of do the inside. It's going to match this just a little bit. So I'm going to come a little bit away from this line right here, this part of the skeleton. I'm going to make a little line right there. And then right here. And then of course we've got this one right here. So I'm going to do just a little line right there. So just so that way we can look and see the inside. So these are going to connect. Like that. And I'm not going to go, I'm going to, right? If I have to go through her head, that's fine. Because it'll be in the foreground. That's feel like I have a lot of paint on this brush, but I don't. Okay, maybe it's the heater. It's drying my paint right away. So you can see how you've got your curves. So we're just copying that part right there. And we need the handle. The handle is going to come from the inside and come straight down. And that'll disappear into your silhouette. Because she'll be holding it in front of her. And you can choose which one wants to hold it. Perfect. I'm going to put a little stem on the top. Just because. So my umbrella has a little post. I love those old-fashioned ones. And that's it for our main focus of this painting. Like, this is your whole main part right here. So you can do whatever you want on the other sides. I added a couple of light posts that I thought were really cute and a tree. So I'm going to take you through that. But if there's something else you want to do, put it in, whatever you want. If you want to put a swing on the side, or have them walking the dog, that whatever you feel like. It's your painting. Get creative. So I'm gonna put the sidewalk in here. So for me, I'm just going to angle a line down. This has a clip on it. So I'm going to angle this down all the way to the bottom of my canvas. And I'm going to do that and just make 2 parallel lines. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. You guys let me know if we're going too fast, okay? Because I will slow down. So I'm not touching the bodies. I'm doing it right, just a little bit of ways from them. And I'm just going to angle it down and pull it down like that. And then the other one is going to go parallel. And it just goes a little bit higher, and then I bring it down. So on this side, my side that is kind of closer to the edge, I'm going to put a tree. I'm going to put a nice long tree. And so really, all a tree is another, just another rectangle. So you've got your rectangle. That's all that is. And you can paint that in. Okay. Just a rectangle right on the edge of my canvas. This is right on the edge of my canvas. This one's just going to kind of go right off the edge. Then to add the branches, I'm just going to get my flat brush and I'm going to kind of V out and kind of let my brush just flow. I'm just going to let it kind of let my hand wiggle and wonk out. And we're just going to take that all the way up. Does not have to be perfect. Trees are perfect being imperfect. I love trees. I love painting trees. I love trees. They're beautiful. So my tree is going to have this nice canopy kind of overhead thing. If you want to get specific on trees, you can totally put whatever type of tree you want going on here. I'm going to do kind of like a root system right down at the bottom of the tree. So basically what I did here, I'm going to do down here. So I'm just going to make it kind of flowy and just kind of pull these little wonky type of shapes out from the tree. So I love those old trees that kind of root up and show their age. I think they're gorgeous. I'm going to kind of brush that a little bit and get that nice. I'm using completely dry brush right here. I got that kind of bumpy, shadowy look going on right here. I haven't put any more paint on my brush, just kind of smushing it all in there. So now I'm going to go move over to this side and I'm going to do the same thing. So now I'm going to grab some more and I'm just going to make a nice, long, tall tree. Grab the paint and pull it on up. So I got one. It's going up and down. I'm letting my hand wiggle. I'm not making a nice straight line. It's all wonky.
You know, are you going all the way down to the bottom of the canvas?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep, all the way down.
Okay.
So nice and down at the bottom. And just coming straight all the way up. I'm using all the paint that I have on my brush. Getting that kind of nice soft edging going on. That's a little abstract. And then from there, I'm just going to add my branches. The same thing. Just going to brush them on and let them flow out. And you can add as many as many tapered branches as you want, however many V's you want. Nice tall tree. And since we're over here on this edge, you're gonna want to go out to the side with it. The tree just doesn't grow one way, right?
Pain on my finger.
Mm. I will pull away here in a second so you can kind of get a gist of what I've got going on at the bottom. Okay. So far, this is what we've got going on. We've got our silhouette in the middle. Then we've got one tree. It's anchoring this side. Then you've got your other tree anchoring that side. And you can add as many branches as you want, however you want your tree to look. I put a nice small base on my tree. And now I'm going to add my light posts. So I did two, and I did two in perspective. So we'll start with this one back here. I'm just going to make a triangle. Okay. So I've got a little triangle. Pull closer so everybody can see that a little bit better. So I've got a little triangle. And I'm going to go straight up. I'm going to try to keep this as steady as I can. So you should be able to touch. This is dry now. Pretty dry. It's a great thing about acrylic. And if you wanted to make your lights, like octagon, box, whatever, however you want to do them, I'm going to do round ones. Just to give it a little bit different. When we did the snowman, we did a nice, pretty, kind of boxy, classic light. So this one I'm going to do a little bit more modern, and it's going to be nice and round and glow like. So it kind of looks like a balloon, which is what I'm going for. But as you can see, I didn't complete the circle all the way around. I just did like this half kind of globe look, half moon. Started at my little umbrella frowny face, and I just connected to the other side. So I made it nice and round. It's going to be behind your umbrella, so you don't want to see it come through. I mean, we can paint over it, but black tends to be one of those colors that you really don't want to fight with. And we're going to do that again. So a little further down. This one's kind of far away, so we don't really see too much detail, right? But on this one, here, we're going to do our triangle, of course. So a nice triangle. You got your triangle. And then I want you to do a rectangle right on top of it. The rectangle and your triangle. And then I want you to fill them in and soften where they connect. And on that top of that rectangle, I'm going to curve it out a little bit. Try to make a curve on that. So that way it almost looks like one of those little game pieces from Sorry. That's kind of what I'm going for. Ooh. Brush is getting a workout. Okay, from there, I'm going to make my pole and I'm going to go straight up. I'm posting with my pinky. And I'm going to make that a little thicker. Thicken that line up a little bit. Not too much. I don't want it as thick as my post down here, but close. Okay. Like that. Then I'm going to do another triangle right here on the top. And fill that in. And I'm going to do my globe light. So this is just going to be a nice little circle. It's definitely going to look like a balloon. I'm just telling you that now. So let me pull away again, and then you can see what we're doing. Oh, we forgot to fill these in. I think I just moved on after that. So on the sidewalk here, I'm just going to fill this in and fill it in, make it all black. Once I get up here to the top, I'm going to kind of angle my paint down and kind of give it like this little kind of sharp, scratchy edge. Because I want it to have that appearance of it's disappearing into the distance. I'm just filling this in. And once we got all our black down, then we're really going to have some fun.
Hey, no breaking up the office there.
I know. I'm gonna have to take this home and just get the planer and taper this down. It's just I'm doing them from the office because that gives people a chance if they can't get here till 5 o'clock to come and get their packets. And
Oh,
yeah, so and in the office I have my small one, and this has this little edge right here. So I might just take it home and get the planer and just trim that off a little bit. I knew that was gonna happen. I was just like, watch this, my hand's just gonna go flying and I'm gonna get black.
Yep.
Some weird place. Okay. So there we go. This is our base. It looks really good. I like it. Okay. I'm gonna wash this off. Mine definitely needs it. I've got my heater going and on in here because it's like it's cold. I really don't know what it's like outside right now. I've been in the office for like 9 hours, so I have no clue. But it's cold in here. Anybody that goes to tech can attest. You're wearing hoodies and sweaters in the freaking summer, and then half the time in the winter you're in shorts because they have the heaters on full blast. It's just one of those things. I think it's kind of goes for every office though. No matter where you are. I guess fix it. Oh, speaking of Hogwarts. My cup. It says Hogwarts wasn't hiring, so I teach Muggles instead. One of my Zumba students got this for me. And it's perfect. Purple, pink, love it. Sparkles, glitter. So I want to add a little bit of detail to our silhouettes here, so that way we can see the hair and the flowing and the clothes a little bit. So I'm going to get a small detail brush. So I've got a small detail brush here. You can see that. Yep. And I'm going to take some white. And I'm just gonna put some white here and there. To give you a little bit of an idea before you get going on it, let me show you what I mean. So we've got the hair flowing, right?
Right.
And we want to differentiate between where the hair is and the shoulders, or which way the hair is flowing. So I'm just going to add a little bit of white right here and kind of give that little flow line. See what I'm doing here? And flow this way, couple lines here and there, kind of give you an idea. She's got some hair that's going, I want to say this is her shoulder right here. And she's got some hair going towards the front. So just kind of use your imagination. Think about, what your body does and your hair and your clothes do and how they move. And this will help you better to kind of, there's really no wrong lines that you can be putting in here right now. It's just kind of highlighting. So like, say she's got kind of like a slouchy shirt, or even if she has a hoodie, you can do the little kind of like a ridgy for her shirt. Her shirt's kind of ridged out. She's got a sleeve, so you want to do a little bit of scrunching. You see what I mean? So and if you're, always kind of step back and look at your painting from a distance. You know, every once in a while, just kind of step back a little bit and be like, oh, okay, so maybe I should add a couple, maybe her shirt's kind of twisting right here, you know, or it's like kind of going on her hip. So just kind of step back and look at it a little bit from a different kind of perspective. You know, her shirt, maybe her shirt ends right here, you know, and she's got some pockets going on. She's got some instep, you know, the knees. You know, your pants kind of ridge out in one area. So you're wanting to give your silhouette a little bit of lining, a little bit of perspective. So you got like, might have the pocket line right here. Because this is our painting, so she will have pockets. I'm just saying that right now. They will have multiple pockets. I'm very much I'm a pro pocket person. I do not like carrying a purse. If I can't stick something in my pocket, if I don't have pockets, I don't buy the clothes. So like right here, as she's walking, maybe her foot catches the light, you know, the heel of her shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And definitely her shoe, she's gonna bend because she's bending, she's stepping. So we're gonna add a couple little brunches here and there. And these are just little tiny lines, like little scrapes. I'm just scraping my brush on it. But when you pull away and you look at it, it actually looks like motion.
Yeah, amazing.
So, you know, she's got her pants. You know, line her hips, maybe get a little shape right here because she is walking. You got a little pocket. Gotta love this pocket. And then say her shirt's kind of runched up a little bit. Maybe she's got a hoodie on. That's a little runchy right there. You know. Bring it up. She's got her shoulder going on here. Her arms bent. So definitely when you're wearing a sweater and your arms bent, you're gonna have some fabric right there. So I'm just going to kind of add a couple little lines here. Just like that. Yeah. It's just like little tiny lines. That's all that is. You know, just and then pull down. And then she's got her hair. I want to say that some of it's going forward and her hair is short, so I'm not going to go too far down. Maybe she's got a part down the middle. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all you have to do. It's really, really simple to give your paintings, especially silhouettes, to give them that little extra bit of movement. Now, I mean, if you feel like you overdid it and went too far, it's black. Just grab your black, paint over, you know, like she might have too much white going on in her hair. Well, just cover some of that up with the black. Easy peasy. And then we'll do the same thing with our trees. So, you know, you've got your trees, you've got ridges, you've got bark, you've got all these beautiful shapes and trees. And all you have to do is just kind of bring this down. And I'm just kind of making these wiggly lines. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just like moving my brush along. And just giving those branches a little bit of white. Because we got some light going on here. These are going to be illuminated, so you're going to have some light reflecting. Same thing with this tree. I'm just going to kind of use what's on my brush and kind of just bring everything up. So you see, I just got nice light kind of look going on. So I mean, I'm really going light. So you can see that I'm barely, like, I haven't picked up any more paint. I'm just using what's on my brush right now. And I'm just kind of like dragging it along, trying to give that a little bit of color, well, a little bit of white. It's just adding a little bit of contrast to things. That's all we're doing right now. You kind of just think about it, you know, where would the light be hitting? So you got that bark kind of look going on. And that's pretty much it for that part. You can keep going on those if you want to add a little bit more or less. It's up to you. So for now, I want these two are actually going to be a certain color. We're going to do this kind of funky finger paint kind of watercolor filled to the painting. But first, I definitely want these because these are going to be my points of light. So I am going to add some yellow. So depending on what color you want, I'm going to stick with my small brush. And on these, I'm going to just add some yellow. Okay. And then I want to add a little difference in my color here. So I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and I'm going to take a smidgen of orange. And I'm going to make this kind of yellow orange. And then kind of add that to the tip. I'm going to let those colors mix. So I've got some swirly colors going on there. And I mean, can't really see it from there, but so it just gives my yellow just a little bit more of a dimension. And then you can, of course, add more to the outside if you want. And I'm going to pick up, I'm not going to clean my brush, but I'm going to pick up some white and kind of mix that in there. So that way all those colors can mix together. Ready? So now, I'm putting my brush down. And I'm going to start by just kind of going over my background with multiple colors. I think I want to start with my red, since that's going to be kind of the darkest color that I'm going to use. And this is where it gets fun. Fingers. Wet them a little bit. So I wet my hand, wet my finger, and I dipped it into my red, right? And I'm just going to go straight down and just make some lines here. Like I said, we're going to get nice and messy. So initially I'm going to avoid my little globes, and I'm going to avoid my umbrella. And I'm just going to do the background and kind of just go through and kind of just swipe that color on there. I'll pull it over my tree. So that's, I mean, and that my first color is red. You can pick whatever color you want. From there, I kind of add a little bit more water to my fingers. Now I'm going to go for my orange because it's such a pretty color. Nice and messy. Lots of fun. I love getting messy. I am not one of those artists that avoids making a mess. If it feels like it's drying, just dip your hand in your water again. You know, and it's nice because it'll mix the colors together. This is a fun one. Just keep on doing that. Shift colors whenever you feel like it's time. Mix them up. So my finger's orange, and I just have so many colors. I'm just kind of rubbing it together. And just we get this real beautiful kind of watercolory thing going on here. if there's a part where you just, you know, feel like you've got too much color on, just get and brush it off. Get your paper, brush it off. It still should be wet. And just keep going with your colors. I got some blue. Yeah, my hands are. I love that turquoise color. Oh, so pretty. If you got a part that you really want the color to stand out with, let it dry just a little bit. And then put your color down. So with the added water, these are going to kind of blend together. So if you don't want that to happen and you want it to really stand out, avoid that area for a little while. That a little bit. You see how that's coming along? So if you're up close and personal with your painting, step back for a little bit so you can see what you're doing. Because this is really like a good distance type of technique. When you get close to it, it just looks like a mess. But the further away you are from it, the better sense it makes. Keep dipping your fingers, keep splashing that paint around. Let it mix on your hands. You'll end up creating different colors. I think I just created lime. And so if you wanted to, you can totally go over the girls. That's fine. That's up to you. I am going to go over them, but I am going to make sure I get my background first. Pink. Oh, yeah, mine's turning to brown. So yeah, I would say, you know, if they start to muddle together like that, you definitely want to clean off your fingers and start anew.
Everybody's being so quiet.
I know. I hope it's because everybody's concentrating.
Hope so.
This is a really fun one. I mean, you know, I don't know how we would end up doing watercolor. So this is like the next best thing. Watered down acrylics. We were just talking about that this afternoon. Because I have our graphic artist is also a visual artist with paint and stuff. So she's an amazing artist. So it's just like fun to have somebody to gripe with and joke about all this stuff.
Well, she should come and join us.
Yeah. She's actually, I think she's actually working right now.
Oh.
I called her earlier today. I was like, oh, by the way, we need an ad for this. And she's like, okay, send me the paperwork. So yeah. I want some more of this turquoise. I love this turquoise. I think this turquoise is gorgeous.
You don't got there on my turquoise.
So I'm going to actually go over here with the girls, and I'm going to wash off my fingers. I think I'm satisfied. I think for me, oh my gosh, I just got paint on the phone. For
It
me,
washes, it's acrylic.
yeah, it's acrylic. We're good. We're all good. So for me, that's fine. I like that. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to add a few little touches here and there. But I'm going to do it with my brush. So kind of wipe off all the mess I made. And it's so much fun. I love these kind of faux watercolor backgrounds. They're the best. So I'm going to, I've got this really long bristle brush. I mean, the bristles are like really long. So that means that I don't have a lot of control here. And that's kind of what I'm going for right here. I want the brush to kind of do its own thing. But for the road right here, I'm going to create, or sidewalk, I guess you could call it. I think I'm going to create a little bit of a rainy kind of reflective watery base for them to be walking on. And so to do that, I'm going to mix some brown. I didn't get myself. So I will just do it with a knife. I will do it with a knife. So I'm going to get some yellow. It's going to make orange. And yeah, I have orange. So I'm actually going to get some orange and some green. And kind of mix those together. And my green's a little more blue based. So, and get a little more, I'm going to grab a little red. And make myself a nice brown. So if you don't have brown on you, which I do, but I don't want to pull it out. So I just made myself a nice little brown. So I just got some orange and some green. And then I threw in a little bit of yellow just because that green that I had was a little bluer than what I wanted. So I'm just going to get this color right here. And I'm going to do it with a wet brush. So sticking with that faux watercolor kind of feel. My brush is soaked, nice and wet. And I'm going to kind of just pull in a little bit more. So as right where they're walking, right? I'm going to kind of just make little kind of smiley hitches. And this is very wet. Like it's gonna start dripping. These are little upward swishes. I want it to kind of almost look like cobblestones. So I'm just kind of swishing, swishing, swishing. Helps if you make the sound, you know, swish, 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 swish. And I'm going all the way down, even though you can't tell. And I am leaving a lot of white in between. Not my intention to cover things all the way up. I just want to get that shape, that like kind of cobblestoney, swishy shape going. Because I'm gonna add some. And see, you can totally tell that it's really wet and saturated because I'm able to move the paint around. Nope, don't drip, don't drip. Okay, going in between their legs where you can see. So I've got this little bit of a cobblestone going on here for their walking path. And I'm going to load my brush with water again. Excuse me. I'm going to grab some of my beautiful turquoise because it is kind of raining. I'm just going to kind of like smush that on the cobblestones right there.
Oh, good idea. Good.
Smushing is our technical term. And it's my brush is really saturated. I have a lot of water on it. Going up, up, up. And I'm gonna get I'm filled with a lot of water on my brush. I'm gonna tap into my dark blue here, which I actually realize now that I never used on there. That's kind of funny. This is the one color that I did not use for my watercolor. So we'll use it now. So lots of water. I'm just going to kind of complement that turquoise with just a little darker blue. And I'm doing the little smushy smushies so that way they'll have that cobblestone shape. So I will wash this brush off. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. And I'm going to tackle my umbrella. So on your umbrella, you can make it whatever color you want. I know I'm sure I'm going to get some really awesome umbrellas because, like I said, this was by request. So I can't wait to see the umbrellas. So you can do it rainbow, whatever color you feel like, you know, however you want to go. I'm going to stick with this watercolor kind of feel. And because I've got some red here and some green here, I'm gonna kind of like pull that down into my umbrella. So first thing, the inside, for my inside, I think I want to go and hit it with a little bit of oh, let's do blue because I barely used the dark blue. So I'm gonna hit it with blue inside. And like I said, this is kind of just color by number. So you can just fill it in. So I'm just gonna fill that in. I might actually make it do a little darker and pull in some brown just because I want to make sure that this is the inside. Give that a little bit of shadow. Again, like with this brush, I have very little control. The bristles are so long. So I've got a dark, kind of darkish blue, brown kind of thing going on here. It's a little reflective of the colors that we put down on the cobblestone. And then on my umbrella, so I've got some like oranges and reds going on right there. I've got a lot of water on my brush still. And I stick with this kind of, so I'm just kind of splattering it on there. Kind of like what you would see with watercolors. You just want to kind of smush it a little bit. You're not really going for full coverage. It's more like a wash than anything else. And I'm gonna grab some of that pink because got some of that pink going on. And then I'll grab some of that red. Like I said, my brush is nice and wet, really nice and wet. And I'll pull some of that red in here. So you can see it's actually starting to drip a little bit, and that's okay, because that's what I want. That's what I want. And I think, and I'm gonna kind of grab some green and maybe some yellow mixed together. Get that kind of, that's a little too solid. So add more there. There you go. Oh, not too much water. So I'm just getting my paper towel because I put a little too much water on my brush, and I'm just going to tap this. That's going to give me that look that I want. I'm a little too happy with the water. And so then, like right in front of them, I'm just going to kind of like brush some blue in here. This is kind of that place, just so that way it gives it that sense of falling water. I'm just stroking that straight up and down. It's very light, very, very light. I'm just kind of getting rid of all that white. And if you want to, I mean, however you like this, I'm going to soften mine up a little bit. And the great thing about, acrylics is all you need to do is add some water. There you go. Now, you might have wondered why I kind of avoided this. It's because I wanted to add a glow. And so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is get some yellow. Get some white. And again, my brush is saturated. And I'm just going to kind of go over and make a circle around my globe, right? Make a circle around my globe. And then I'm going to get some yellow. And like I said, I have lots of water on my brush. And I'm going to kind of mix those two together. It's going to give this nice little glow. And you see I'm kind of pulling that circle out. So it looks like it's like pulsating. You can see that. I'm pulling a little. So taking this and just kind of circling it out and letting whatever's left on my brush kind of just sweep around. So you got that kind of like nice wash of the globe. I'm going to do that to the other one that's towards the back. So I'm going to put some white on my brush, but I'm going to have a lot of water again on my brush. So I'm just going to put, and I'm only going to go halfway because I don't want it to hit the other side of my umbrella. This brush holds a lot of water. The long bristles. So there we got the white. And with the same brush, just gonna add some of the yellow, and those will mix together. Look at how nice they mix together. So you've got that real pretty combination, and it looks like it's glowing. And so your circles can kind of overlap. So when we pull away, you have that glow going on. You can add a little white to the middle. Ooh, I pulled away way too far. And then I, stand back, take a look, see if there's anything anywhere else that you feel like you want to add to your painting. Like I might end up actually doing a little more blue right here in the middle, a little bit darker. Just because it feels like it's a little empty space. I might bring some blue down on my umbrella so that it looks like the rain is hitting the umbrella. I don't know if you can see that. So like with my umbrella here, I got a little bit of blue. So I'm just like kind of pulling that downward. So that way it looks like it's raining on my umbrella. You can add a little bit of highlight to your cobblestone. That's another thing you can do. So you can add some shadows and some highlights. So if you want to do some shadows here and there, you got a couple little spots that you think you have the darkness. Just pick some fun little curves that you want to darken in between. And conversely, we can also add some highlights. Just get some white. And get some white and kind of just brush it across. Like if it's water that's pulling. So that looks. It's reflecting the light off of the. Now I'm just brushing across, making some kind of wiggly lines and strips. Very soft. I don't have any water on my brush. This is all solid white. You can, because we've got blue going on in there, you can mix that white and that blue on a dry brush. So I've got this as a dry brush. And add that. Make some nice little reflective pools here and there. A lot of water puddling in between the cracks in the cobblestone. Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Dana, what did you do in between the ladies and the umbrella? I have a lot of white space in there.
All I did was take my brush that's nice and wet, and I just added some blue streaks.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just did like a watercolor brush, a watercolor wash, and just put blue going down the middle to get rid of some of that white spot. I mean, I didn't cover everything, of course. This is a very light painting. We usually tend to cover the whole canvas. This time we got a lot of white coming through. And so I just did a wash. Did a wash, and I put the blue right there in those spots. I've even got some blue on them just because, you know, it's raining. So we're looking at them from behind. So the rain's going to be in the view.
Okay.
But that is it. I hope you guys came up with something fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, wait. Let me,
a little busy, but
yeah, no. Well, that is the nature of this one. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some over here
There we
too.
go.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Great, you guys.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the blue umbrella. Love the blue
Thank you.
umbrella.
Yeah.
Who else we got here?
Oh, that's great. You guys did a great job.
Awesome job.
Yeah, they did. Cool.
Let's see who else wants to show us their picture. Oh, let's
Did
see.
you guys? Did you guys?
Ingrid, oh, Ingrid, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Good
Oh, I love
teaching.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you joined us. Marianne, I love yours.
Oh, thank
I love
you.
your cobblestones. I love that your my cobblestones don't look like cobblestones. So I mean,
No, but yours looks more wet than mine does. So
it definitely is more wet.
yeah,
So wet.
in more ways than one.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see who else do we have online. Let's see, Mason, Brianna, McKenna, do you guys want to show us your paintings before we go? They don't have to be done.
I'll show mine.
Okay.
Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, very good.
Oh, I love
Very
it.
good.
I love your umbrella.
Thanks.
That's so cool, you guys.
You did such a good job.
Yes.
This one was so much fun. And I cannot remember what we're going to do for next month. It's in my email. I'll find it. But yeah, I think it has something to do with dragons. It might be the dragon one.
Oh, cool.
I bet Charlotte knows.
Here's mine.
I think, yeah, it's just one of those times. Oh, Brianne. Oh, I love it. I love that one. It looks like one of those, I love rainy days. I love those dark, gloomy, rainy days where you just curl up, you know, underneath the porch with the blanket and the cat and enjoy a nice rainy rainstorm. So I love those dark ones. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
So cool.
I
That
hope
was
you guys
fun.
have fun.
That was
And-
fun.
Yay.
Yes.
Thanks, we had a great time.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
I'll
you,
see you guys
Dana.
next time.
Okay, make sure you sign your work.
Yes, sign your work.
Sign
Oh,
your
and
work.
don't forget, if you guys are so inclined and you have a couple pieces that you're really proud of, Women's Fest is coming up and we're inviting women to come out and showcase their art.
Oh,
And then in the fall, I'm hoping that we're going to have a like Dana's Delicacies showcase. I'm working with Macy Center to kind of put something like that together. So anybody that's done a piece from any of our little painting parties here, you know, you're more than welcome to display it. And I'm going to get that showcase together, and we'll have a nice fun showcase at one of the shows. So keep those in mind, save your paintings, and I will see you all next time.
okay. Thank you,
All right,
Dana.
thank you. Have a